Okay guys, if I can have your attention, we'll get this meeting underway. Welcome to the first regional meeting of the year. I hope you've all had a good Christmas break. A couple of things that need to be mentioned. If we can have all our phones on silent, would be appreciated. So to kick things off, we're going to get Chrissy up from KLC. She's going to give us a brief background into KLC and a few of their products. Chrissy, thank you.
Hello. First time speaker. Hopefully I'm loud enough to do what I need to do. So I'm Chrissy, the marketing manager for KLC. We're based in Kaingaroa. I thought I'd start with a bit of history on Kaingaroa, when KLC started, manufacturing, and finally a couple of key industry issues that we face as manufacturers. Introduce you to Gen 2 and Gen Lam, which are our own products. The Kaingaroa State Forest was first planted in the late 1920s and grew to be the largest forest in the North Island and the largest plantation in the Southern Hemisphere. Women workers at the Whakarewarewa nursery plant seedlings in lines, ensuring that they're carefully spaced so the roots can be developed. This image was taken in 1920. The Ngāti Manawa people and other iwi were employed for nursery plantings and tree planting within the forest. This image shows the tent accommodations supplied for the workers. Cool, huh? Especially in Kaingaroa where it snows. We still support the Ngāti Manawa people within our community. New Zealand forestry ramped up during the Depression, and by 1936, 189,000 hectares of New Zealand Pinus radiata, Corsican, Pinus ponderosa and Douglas fir had been planted. Ready for harvesting in the 1950s, bringing with it a desperate need for forestry worker housing, the small settlement of Kaingaroa village, where the New Zealand Forest Service headquarters was located, was extended. So too was the logging town of Minganui. Murupara was built to service the operations of the Kaingaroa Lumber Company. State houses were built and bustling communities developed. In the late 1980s, the government decided to sell state forests and disband the New Zealand Forest Service. And KLC was born. KLC Limited was started in 1997 and is based in the Kaingaroa village, 50 kilometres southeast of Rotorua, on what was the site of the New Zealand Forest Service workshops. Here you can see the chocolate brown rooftops of the old workshops. We still use these today and have just expanded around them with our new buildings. Oh, go back and hold that thing down. No, go back. So, number one, this is our treatment plant. We've got a state-of-the-art treatment plant and a couple of rogue dudes that run it. This is the paint line and also our dry store. This is where we have 6 kilns and also our boiler room. You can see that it's all undercover, everything's undercover, so the timber stays dry. Through here we have another couple of kilns, and this goes through into our dry store and dispatch. This is the laminating area and our laminating press and some of our packaging. We have 2 planers in this building here and also 1 planer in here. Go through into our defecting line or our lux scan, comes through here, and then we finger joint, which is in number 8. This is our finger joint building. We've got 2 finger jointers in here, and we're soon to put a 3rd through here. Number 9, that's our planning department. 10 is our inwards, where all the trucks deliver the timber. As you can see, it's all stacked in here before it goes in through to the kilns. You can actually see some kiln stacks there being loaded, ready to be charged. And way over here, this is the workshop. We still use that. So all the chocolate brown ones, we still use those buildings, which is quite cool. I think it's quite cool. KLC as a manufacturer. KLC started as a kiln drying operation and quickly progressed into being one of New Zealand's largest and most innovative timber treatment and remanufacturing operations, producing high-quality weatherboards, fascia, dressboards and mouldings. KLC has a significant presence in the New Zealand market for products ranging from finger-jointed products, blanks, to our Generation 2 exterior cladding range of dressboards, fascia, weatherboards and GenLam. GenLam is our export and New Zealand laminated post and fencing program. KLC is a chain of custody FSC certified company. KLC also has an international presence in Australia, Asia, USA and Europe. Whoops, I should have put that before when I was speaking about it, shouldn't I? So I'll move on to Generation 2. This is our H3.2 exterior cladding system. MicroPro treatment is a waterborne copper-based biocide preservative system applied to the wood using a high-pressure treatment process. We are able to achieve full penetration of the copper tepoconazole mix. This preservative is effective against decay, borer and termite attack. Key features of Generation 2 are: we're code mark certified, a wide range of profiles to choose from, master spec sectioned, 50-year MicroPro treatment warranty, reduced resin bleed. That's due to the second drying process that we actually do during the process of manufacturing. Hot dip, reduced resin bleed, reduced corrosivity, so you're able to use stainless steel and hot dip galvanised fasteners and fixings, and it's recommended to use those in direct contact. Eco-friendly with 4 eco-friendly credentials. We're nearing completion on our green tag certification. The weatherboards are 6.3 metres in length, which means less waste on site. Formaldehyde free, no chrome and no arsenic. 2-coat alkyl priming, approved for direct aluminium contact. These designers are the Housing Company in Auckland and Belco Homes in Tauranga. They use our product range. Benefits of MicroPro. Do any of you remember the Coppers presentation last year? Yeah. Great. So I'll just refresh those that were here and let some of you know that weren't here. So large copper particles are put through the micronizing mill and ground to sub-micron particles so small they can then be put under extreme pressure through our treatment plant at 1400 bar and forced into the tiny cells of the wood in solid form. That's what gives us the full penetration. Profiles we have under the Generation brand are the bevel back profile, rusticated, splay cut and rebaited splay, vertical shiplap, board and batten. Also the finishing boards and scribers. Also available is an H3.2 cavity batten. Please collect a brochure from the front if you have any more questions. All the profiles are in there. And I've bought some products with me to have a look through if you want to look at the hard profiles, the solid bits. There's also more detail available on our website. Paint maintenance and common industry issues. Helping your client to choose not just the right colour, but the correct colour for their timber weatherboard house is extremely important. Too often as manufacturers, we have to go to sites a couple of years after the houses are finished where there's an issue with our product. Too often the manufacturers are blamed for board failure. Example, resin bleed. And too often we find the house has been painted incorrectly. Does anyone here know what LRV is in light reflective value? You're all au fait with that? What is the LRV reflective value required for timber weatherboards?
45.
Who said 45? Boom. I'll tell you a little story very shortly. Can you see that? Can you see the resin bleed in there? Okay. Timber is a natural product and resins are found in many types of softwood, particularly in radiata pine. Resin bleed is a natural occurrence and is most likely to occur when the weatherboard is installed in an area which receives prolonged periods of direct sunlight. Painting weatherboards using dark colours, particularly with an LRV under 45, will increase the likelihood of resin bleed. While resin bleed can be unsightly, it in no way affects the durability and performance of the product. This is actually an LOSP treated weatherboard. This is one of our clients or customers. We do custom treatment and processing for some of the suppliers to the industry. So we had to go to this site for them because they couldn't make it, so we went, and this is what we found. So they said that the weatherboard was failing and that the primer paint was failing, but as you can clearly see, it's not really that. The light reflectance value of this paint I'm actually showing you in a couple of slides. There's another slide of the goop. This is the colour that they used on that house. Incredible, eh? Clever, huh? Yeah. We understand that homeowners are unaware of the effects dark colours have on their nice new home, and that dark coloured homes is a current trend. Here's my story. On Monday I received a call from a new homeowner who was actually quite upset that his house has failed its code of compliance, and the inspector found it on the house being painted a dark colour. The homeowner had done everything right. He asked the builder what the correct paint colour to choose was. The builder said, "Is any colour, with an LRV of 4. Cool, huh? We've got such good jobs. He went to the paint store recommended by the painter, and the store allowed him and his wife to choose Nero with an LRV of 4, even though he told them he was building a weatherboard house. The painter purchased the paint from the same store and did not advise the homeowner that this was the incorrect colour to use on a timber weatherboard house. On the reverse side of our boards and within the installation guide, we have clearly stated, must be painted with a colour that has an LRV greater than 45. Hopefully you can see that, the bottom point, number 3. The homeowner is having to repaint his house at a cost of $15,000 to get his code of compliance. So this is the label that we put on the back of every single board that leaves the factory. And every customer that we have, so we've got 3 customers we do custom processing for, they do the same thing. Some of them have their labels got spider writing on, you can't read it anyway, but those are the 3 key points that really need to be there. Another key issue that we have is the importance of home maintenance, especially coastal. This was yesterday, so that's why I've put it in my slides for today. Here you can see a house that has not been well maintained. The home is just over 4 years old and never been washed, and it's coastal. Poor paint application and no 6 months wash down and no maintenance on the surface coatings. They're telling us that this is our board that's failed and our primer paint is making the paint peel off. At that height, which is only 2 boards up from the grass, that's actually damage, we know this because we've seen a lot of them, is lawnmowers. Yeah. And you know the little handle on the side holds the handle down? That thing does that. So you can kind of tell that no maintenance has been done, otherwise we would have picked that up and kind of done something about it. And you can just see the dirt under here. See all the gunge and grime? It's on that one too. Can't really see it close up, that's why I did that one. This next slide's a doozy. Does anyone know what this is? Oh, it does too. I put that there just before. Okay. So they told us that that's our primer paint failing. And then we thought, oh, maybe it's hailstorms because the dog kennel, which is built in the weatherboard as well, is over on the side and it's closer to the ocean and it's the same, but it's only on 2 sides. This is, the test results from our PVG paint supplier who said that this is actually salt oxidation. And that's mould, which is the dark bits, but the circles are from the salt. We provide a maintenance checklist within our technical guide and available on our website. This is just a brief as to what's in it. So we clearly mentioned you've got to wash it down, don't use a water blaster. And any paint surfaces that need repainting, how to paint it, what to use. GenLam is our laminated post and fencing program. This was only released last year. KLC's GenLam H4 laminated posts are manufactured using high quality selected lengths of timber that are finger jointed together. H4 treated with copper's micropro, kiln dried and then laminated together. These posts meet sound structural and compliance standards to comply with NZ 3602, non-structural use, making them ideal for applications such as fence posts for in-ground and above-ground use, small pergolas, playground structures, equipment and playhouses. The key features of this product is quality finish. I bought a sample for you guys to see the quality finish. Structurally tested for strength and durability and multi-purpose. They won't split or twist like solid timber posts. Incredibly strong, corrosion resistant for approved fasteners and hot dip galv or stainless steel nails and fixings. 100% New Zealand radiata pine sourced from sustainable forests. Eco-friendly with 4 environmental credentials. That's really important because these posts can be used in kindergartens and schools and playgrounds and play centres. Because there's no chrome and no arsenic. It's just copper and tebuconazole. The lengths are from 2.4 to 6 metres long. Why you'd want a 6 metre long post, I don't know. Formaldehyde free with no odour. Finger jointed using Henkel's Loctite Pure Bond, a structural grade polyurethane adhesive system, 50-year treatment warranty. The palings of this system are not finger jointed, they're actually clears and are dual coated with the same alkyl primer system that we use on our Gen 2 product. You can see it, it's all green. That concludes my presentation. And this is Stitch. So if you have any questions, Stitch is just asking the question if you do. Those are our 2 websites. Generation 2 is for the Generation 2 program and KLC is our company. Okie dokie.
Thanks, Chrissy. No one had any questions? No? Is it a New Zealand owned company?
Yes.
Yes.
Family owned?
Family owned.
Right, and how many staff have they got?
It's owned by Kevin Lewis and his 2 sons work there, David and Michael. Nellie is part of our production team, he's got 30 years experience. All these people are very experienced. There's about 120 overall staff, 25 contractors, and the rest are employed. We employ people from Ripata, Kainor, some from Taupo, Rotorua. Some come from just this side of Port North, travel all the way. It's such a haul.
Just with, the cleaning of the weatherboards, is that the same for your fencing as well?
Yes.
Same.
So it's the same checklist we have for both products.
If you cut one of your posts, you need to treat the top.
It's fully treated. When you purchase your post, the wax end goes in the ground. That's the seal end. And then you can just apply top coat, just an alcohol primer and top coat to the top.
What to do with weatherboards, that cut, that from
Yes.
white.
Yes.
Sure.
Okay. Thanks very much, Chrissy. Oh, another one?
What about Resin corn colour? Do they work?
I was hoping I was going to ask the guy who, the homeowner that's just had the problem, he was sold that colour as a cool colour and advised to use it. So I had a cool colour on my own house and I was advised to use it on my weatherboard house and I wouldn't do it again. I hate the same issue with the resin base.
So that was a corn colour.
seems in the road that everyone wants to black with, or you know, or even a shadow clad, everyone wants to paint it black. We're experiencing it in droves at the moment.
Yes.
With
Excuse
remedials.
me, board, have you got any comment to make on that?
Cool colour will take some of the heat out of it, but it's no magic wand. So it should be treated as such.
Unfortunately, homeowners don't really understand it, and that's why it has to be so clear all the way through from everyone, even from us, all the way through what you can and can't do. All of the manufacturers that we work with, I mean, I just had a meeting with them last Friday and the Friday before, that we all, with the WPMA, we've all got the same issue.
We've basically got paint remedials on at the moment. One yesterday, $75,000.
Oh,
So
wow.
that's just one remedial because they want to paint the product work.
2 weeks ago, I was down in Hastings, my mum, and my sister was hooning along this road, and there was an old, 100-year-old villa. I actually took some photos of it, and it's got a rusticated profile, and it's painted a really dark, not black, but like a chocolate black, really brown black. And I had to go over and talk to the homeowner. There's not 1 ounce of cupping or splitting, and it's been done for 2 years now, and that's in Hastings where the team. So I've used hardwood from the area, and yeah, amazing, eh?
You're finding the stains as well as painting, or
Pardon?
the staining as well?
Well, we're 2 coats of primer, so we don't really fill in for paint surfaces.
No, okay.
I'm sorry, paint surfaces.
Okay, thank you. We better move on. Thanks, Chrissy.